Today on In the Woodyard, we're talking about free stuff. Free stuff I get, free stuff you get, free stuff you can give away, free stuff that everybody likes. So there's a saying, if it's free, it's for me. However, my belief is nothing is free. There's always a price. Everybody says, oh, the air you breathe is free. Well, no, not really. Because you have to go through effort to breathe. So you're burning up calories. Those calories came from food that you consume, from stuff that you bought. Everything has a price. It just depends on what you want to pay. And if you've earned something that somebody's giving you for free. We're going to talk about a lot of things that I've gotten for free and what I do for other people, that I give them some free stuff, basically in exchange for other things. So it's kind of like a barter thing when it comes to free stuff, in my opinion. So the reason this is coming up today is my next door neighbor, who is an electrician, he's also a firewood customer of mine. He buys a couple loads of wood a year. And he called me up and said, hey, we've got a bunch more pallets if you want them. Come get them. That's what this is for. And I've gotten pallets from them in the past. The last time I went there, I got 33 or 34 pallets. So I've got my dump trailer hooked up, my little baby dump trailer. It's going to go right next door, and he's going to load me up. And I'm going to bring them back here to my old wood yard, because I might be doing something here with them where I need to build a set and some storage area. So I'm going to go get them while I can, because if I don't get them, someone else will. And the reason that the beer is here is because I found out when they're done with work at the end of the day, because it's a non-union place, they're privately owned, at the end of the day, they like their Coors Light. So I stopped and I got a case for them. And I asked him, I said, what brand do you guys drink? He said, Coors Light. So that's what I got for him. Also, last time I delivered to him, he was telling me about the kindling that he makes from pallets, the busted up ones. And I said, hey, I've got some kindling, I'll bring you some. So I grabbed a couple bundles, I'm going to give them to him, because he's a good customer, because he gets me pallets, because he's a neighbor, because he's a nice guy. So a lot of the stuff that I buy from my customers are things that I can see that maybe it's something that I can give to another customer or a friend or someone that helps me out. So here's some examples of things that I've gotten for free that I'm going to either give away or use or reciprocate is the word of the day. Reciprocation, barter, trading. It's all good stuff. Anything that you can do and I can do to keep the government out of our pockets is a good thing, and this is one of the ways to do it. Now, one of the things I get all the time from one of my customers is this Tease Bangin' Jerky. They're $8 a pack, best jerky I've ever had, and every time I go there I buy 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, whatever he's got in stock, and then I give these to people that help me out. It's really good stuff. I've had it once or twice. Mainly I just get it and I give it away to someone that's helping me. If there's a good customer that we start talking and they like making jerky or grilling out or something like that, people that like food, which is everyone. So this works pretty good to give away as a gift. Another thing I buy a lot of is this maple syrup that our buddies from up north at Oxbow Hills Sugar Bush, they make maple syrup. Now, they're friends of ours. They've taken us on a fishing trip, and they're just good guys. We stop in there and have beers and eat some fish and stuff like that when we're beaver trapping or when we're doing stuff up north. And this year I bought 2 cases from them. Cost me a couple $100. This is some of the bourbon aged stuff that it's like liquid candy. Well, it's all liquid candy. And so when I get a good customer or someone that I owe a favor to or someone that's helped me, I give them a bottle. So I've given out maybe 10 bottles so far. I got about 10 left. I also put it in my coffee in the morning. It's delicious, by the way. So this is the kind of stuff people really appreciate. I even gave Tony a bottle of this, and he was like a little kid at Christmas. And my neighbor guy is another example. My next door neighbor has a cottage in northern Wisconsin, and they had high winds come through and knocked down a whole bunch of trees. And so he had arborists come in, and they cut down the trees that were hung up on the house and in their garage and in their yard. There was maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 oak trees. And they asked me if I was interested in getting the wood. And I said, heck yeah. So they just had the arborist cut them into logs and they piled them up at the end of the driveway. Then I went up there to their cottage and I got 2 big loads of red oak in my trailer that I picked up, and they gave it to me for free. Now, he said he was going to pay me for cutting it up. I said, no. I said, I got 2 trailers full of wood. I said, that wood alone is probably worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000. I said, that's payment enough. I'll be able to sell it. And they were like, oh, really? I said, yeah, sure, there's work involved. I got to cut it, split it, dry it. but I'll make money from it. So I said, you're not paying me anything. Then while I was there, they were putting in a new gas line, and they needed a trench dug, and the guy that was there was digging it, and he hit a whole bunch of roots in the trees. I just happened to have a chainsaw. He had a chainsaw, so I went and I cut it out for him because I kind of have a little bit of experience with chainsaw. So I cut it out for him, spent a little time doing that. They were all happy. And then he comes to me, about a week later, and he tried giving me money. I said, matter of fact, I'm not taking your money, and if you try to give me money for hauling away trees, I'm going to make money on it. I said, I'll never talk to you again. This is my next door neighbor. He's laughed. And then his wife asked me, because we were talking about maple syrup, and they said, hey, where did you get that stuff? We'd like to buy some. I said, I'll be right back. I went and I grabbed 2 of these and I handed them to them. And they tried to pay me for them. I said, you're not paying me for these. Someday I'll need help, and this is like prepayment, I said. He's like, okay. So that's the kind of stuff you got to do. Another thing I buy once in a while, we go to Door County, and they have really good cherry jam and blueberry jam. There's a place, it's called Copsel's, I think. There's a bunch of different places. But I buy these, I don't know, they're like $7-8. So it's this jam. And they have a lot of other products. I'll buy cherries they have, chocolate-covered cherries, actual cherries, because that's a big thing in Door County, Wisconsin here. I'll buy those and I'll give it out to people, because this stuff will keep for years. Well, a couple of years anyway. And I give this out to people. So when I see something that I can buy that people would appreciate, I'll buy 6, 7, 10 of them, whatever, and then I just have them to give out to people. So this is another one of the things I do. We're going to talk about some of the things I get from people that are selling me stuff or helping me. One of the things is this hat, and I've got, 3 or 4 of these Husqvarna hats. This tan one I really like a lot. I've got, I think, 3 of them, maybe 4, and I really like them. Now, I get hats all the time from people that watch my channel that will buy me a hat because they know I like hats, or I wear shirts. They'll buy me shirts, they'll buy me hoodies, or they might even have one because they have a channel. Now, when I bought my Tundra back 10 years ago, this hat was what I received when I bought the Tundra. So I got a Tundra hat. When I bought my Easton Made Ultra, I got an Easton Made hat. When I bought my power washer, I got an Echo, because it's a Echo power washer. I also bought a line trimmer, string trimmer from them. They gave me a hat. The Steel guys wanted me to do some videos with them. I did a couple, and they gave me a couple hats and a couple shirts. One of the viewers on my channel likes my stuff and knows I like Husqvarna, so he got me this orange hat, which I wasn't able to find anywhere else. Blockbuster is giving me some hats, some hoodies, some shirts. I get all kinds of stuff from a lot of the vendors. This shirt in particular was given to me by Adam, a guy who helps me out all the time. You've seen him on the channel. He bought one for himself and knew I would like it. It's a real lightweight, like fishing shirt. So on a hot day like today, this is actually it's a long sleeve shirt for fishing, so you can cover your arms up and not get burnt. But it rolls up. Anyway, it's a really nice lightweight shirt, and I like it. So I get a lot of stuff from people that help me out, and kind of a gesture of appreciation, obviously, number one. Number two, it's something that you kind of can let people know you like it, that you want to do stuff with them again. And if you're the kind of person that, if you think it's free for me, but you never reciprocate, you never do anything in return, that's a bad thing. You should never let it just slide that you're just going to take stuff and walk away. You should always do something in return, even if it's a little thing. And some people don't even say thank you. They just assume that you should be giving it to them. And that's not the person I want to be, and nor should you be. When I get loads of logs into my wood yard, I always either have some syrup to give to the truck driver, give them a $20 bill, case of beer, bottle of whiskey, whatever I find out that they like, I try to have it there when I know they're coming, and I give it to them. And believe me, it makes a big difference. And they like that kind of stuff, especially if it's someone that you're not paying directly. Like, say, for instance, I buy my logs in truckloads. The logger, the guy that's producing it, is getting $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, but the guy delivering it is on the clock. He's paid by the hour. And if you want a little extra service from that guy or girl, whoever is providing it for you, give them a tip. No different than going to a restaurant. You get really good service, you get a really good waiter, waitress. Be generous. Be generous. It will come back to you. Don't be the guy that never opens up his wallet. I have a relative who has every penny he's ever made. And I can tell you stories. And people don't like doing stuff with him because he never opens up his wallet. Like, lots of stories. Don't be that guy. It gets around. People know. So if you're just taking free stuff, never reciprocating, never showing people your appreciation, you're going to get a lot less stuff, and eventually it will be zero stuff. Another example I can give you is my wood yard at the farm. So now when I moved there, all of the gravel I had here, we scooped up and hauled out to the farm. It was 7 or 8 truckloads. It was like $3,000 or $4,000 worth of gravel that we took to the farm and filled in all the low spots so that would be better for bringing trucks in and made the driveway usable. My dump trailers, my chainsaws, my splitters, my tractor, my attachments, all that stuff is free for the farm to use for personal use because I appreciate their help. When guys come and help me out, whether it's Bert or Adam or Keith or Gavin or Tyler or any of the guys that come and help me in the wood yard, if we're working, I will feed them and I will make sure they got stuff to drink. So I'll go buy a couple 12 packs of soda so we've got it. I'll buy snacks. We'll go out for lunch. I'll buy, wherever they want to go, we'll go get burgers. Show appreciation. If you're a tightwad and you never open up your wallet to show your appreciation, people will distance themselves from you. Be thankful. And the reason all this is coming up today, like I mentioned earlier, my trailer is hooked up. My neighbor's got a bunch of pallets for me. He sent me a picture. It looked like there's at least 20, 25, I don't know, a bunch. So we're going to go over there and he's going to load them up. He's going to get his beer. He's going to get some kindling. And I'm going to give him a couple packs of jerky. So that's what's going to happen today. I don't want to blow my wad and give them everything all at once. I got to save the syrup for a different time. But I still have about, 10 of these left. I got to save some for myself too. So I got to have it. Another thing I do real often, guys that help me out, I will pay their way to go places. My brother Ken comes along a lot because he's in a lot of my videos. So when we travel, I pay for the gas, I drive, I'll pay for the flight, I'll pay for the hotel room, all that kind of stuff. I will cover a lot of that. If guys come and help me at the wood yard, I will make sure that if we're using their truck, I'm paying for the gas. If somebody gives me something to use, say it's a piece of equipment, and it's for me to use for a special purpose, I make sure that when I return it, it's clean, it's full of gas, it's good, because I don't want to return them something that's dirty, broken, empty. I want to take care of it. So that's something to me, it means a lot, because if you don't grease the wheels, so to speak, if you don't show your appreciation, others will distance themselves from you. Another thing I do is if I deliver a big order to customers, a lot of times I'll take a bundle of kindling, give it to them. If they're not sure what kind of wood they like, or if I've got an excess of another kind of wood that I'd like to sell more of, I'll take a couple armfuls and I'll specifically show them, here, this I brought for you. I want you to try it out. You're going to like it. I did that when I had my truckload of cherry that I bought. No one around here really has cherry very much or knows that it's good wood. And I know these people were burning in a fire pit or a fireplace, and they were always buying oak, or they were always buying locust, or they always wanted ash, maple. And so I gave them some cherry. Now I have a bunch of cherry customers because they liked it. Kind of like the free samples at a grocery store. And when you're at that grocery store getting those free samples, there's a motive that they have for giving out free samples. They want you to buy the stuff. And if you're a good person, you should come back to that store. And if you really like the stuff, buy the stuff. That's why they do it. It all works together. Don't be like the government where they just take. Like I mentioned earlier, the air that you breathe, it's very possible that someday the government may tax you on your carbon output. I wouldn't put it past them, because they tax everything else. They tax you when you come in, they tax you when you go out, and every time in between. All right, let's go get some pallets. There we go. Load of pallets. So there it is. I think that's 30 or 31. You guys will tell me in the comments. How many did I unload? About 30. Last time I got 32 or 33, something like that. So about when they get it to the point where they have nowhere to stack them, they want them gone. And he asked me, he said, hey, if we get any more, do you want them? I said, yes, sir. So I gave him his case of beer and his 2 bundles of firewood. He says, you even brought me kindling. I said, well, you mentioned that you use kindling. I know everybody does. He said, you don't have to do that. I says, no, I know I don't have to, but I want to, because I know down the road, you're going to remember. And I like to grease the wheels. before they need to be greased. He says, I'm that way too. So cool thing. So he appreciated it. And so now the guys that work there too are going to share in the bounty of the barley malt pops, barley pops, that's what they are. And they'll remember and they'll obviously mention my name to the other guys. So Johnny's only going to be there for another year and he's retiring and he's moving out west. So the other guys need to know that I'm the guy to go to, because they used to call a guy and he would just come get him and take them. And Johnny said to me, he says, well, no one else ever gave us anything for the pallets. I said, well, to me, they're worth it. A little bit I can do to help you out. I said, that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. I got one other thing I want to show you about free stuff and stuff that you get for doing things for others. It's in the wood yard. We're going to go out there right now and I'll show you what it is. This wood right here, tree service wood, given to me by an arborist. Same as this. This all came from the same guy. Same as that. Same as that. All that wood came from an arborist that likes to bring wood here. And I did a video for him and he needed a place to dump stuff. So I said, hey, I'm the guy. Oh, look at here. Here's another pile. This all was free wood from an arborist. All of this. Look at the size of that pile. 100% free wood. Again, came from arborists looking for a place to get rid of wood. There's a couple different ones. All that wood was free. I got more. All of this wood, 100% free wood. A lot of ash, a lot of maple, there's a little bit of oak. All of it was free. But it wasn't really free because I did them a favor, they did me a favor. Washing each other's hands, scratching each other's back. Even my Wolfridge splitter, the 17RS. This came because I've done videos for Wolfridge over the years. I've done some free stuff for them just because I wanted to get to know them and I like their product. And this ended up being mine because I did work for them and I'm going to continue working with them. Again, help each other. It's the right thing to do. Even the processor came to me because I did videos for some people, Blockbuster, and they like what I did. I did not expecting anything, just to be a good guy, get some content for you guys to watch. And they contacted me and said, hey, we'd like to work with you. Let's work out a deal. So now I want to be getting more Blockbusters. This is number 2. I think they've got 5 altogether. They want me to work through the whole lineup, so that's a cool thing. I've gotten lots of tools given to me from other people because they like what I do. I've did them some favors. I can make some connections for them. So helping each other is a good thing. The one last thing I'm going to mention is my baby dump trailer. I don't have it here right now. It's being used. But my little dump trailer was given to me by Thumb Trailers and N&N. It's the galvanized N&N trailer. It's a 5x10 trailer. I bought the bigger trailer from them, and then they called me like a year later and said, hey, we got another trailer for you. And I thought they wanted me to buy it. And they said, no, we want you to have it. And I said, really? And they said, yeah, we've sold like 50 trailers because of your videos. Because I gave first, then they gave back. That's the way it works. Don't be the turd and just take stuff. Turds generally leave stuff behind. Smell. Don't be smelly. That's all I got for today, folks. See you tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. with another video. Right now, go watch all the other videos on my channel. Good night, Irene.